Hey everybody, welcome back to Leosophy. This is Mental Diets October, and it's cold. It's like really cold. I can't believe how cold it got. Unrelated to the mental diets aspect though, but I'm reading two nonfiction books. One notably written by Aldous Huxley, who's more known for his dystopian fiction series, but The Doors of Perception is still very popular. In fact, the Doors, the band, that's where they got their name. It's really interesting because it's not so much an argument for or against anything. It's just his own chronicling of experiences and the reasons behind those experiences that he had under the influence in a very academic setting on hallucinogens. And it's really interesting. Psychedelics, in other words, that's probably a better term. So, highly recommend reading it just because I've never I've never consumed consume any media where people talk about psychedelics um, and go through it as objectively as him. It's almost jarring, which reminds me of the other book that I'm reading because it's very jarring, and that is Beyond Good and Evil by Nietzsche. And the reason why it's so jarring is Nietzsche's a very passionate guy in and of itself. That's one thing I've noticed throughout his works. But more interesting is this is really one of his most iconic assaults on Platonism. And the reason why, and I know I use this analogy a lot. In fact, I think I used it last video. A fish doesn't notice the water unless it's flopping on the shore. We all just sort of grew up in a Platonist world, and here he is attacking it, and it's very jarring. It's very jarring to attempt as a Westerner to take in the world without that added architecture that we're all just grew up around. It's very strange. In terms of music, I've been listening to a lot of Burzum, been listening to a lot of Ghost, and in terms of film, I ended up taking one for the team and seeing the Love and Thunder movie. Actually, nowhere near as bad as I expected. I don't really have a good recommendation. I'm just saying it wasn't as bad as I expected. And in terms of children's entertainment, The Mighty Ones are back on Hulu, and that's a really decently written show for children. It's a little bit, but there's actually a really funny indictment of millennials in the new season that's rather comical. And then in terms of actual regular TV, there's no live actions I'm really interested in right now in terms of shows. So I'm gonna make my first ever anime recommendation because Mob Psycho 100 season 3 is out and it's hilarious. So that's what I've got for mental diets. Two of them were at least somewhat intellectually stimulating. The rest are really just oh, it's not that bad this month. Not a lot of gold nuggets this month. Like, share, subscribe, keep asking questions. Bye.